In this presentation, I'm going to be discussing my healthy study habits, including what I think is the most important study habit for success. Compartmentalising comes to mind. These days, I still wonder if it's a useful strategy or, in fact, a restriction. Growing up in a large family, I was the youngest of 6 children and our father was totally blind, so we needed to place life tasks in a box. Compartmentalising was a strategy for focusing on multiple tasks. Various authors would argue diverse approaches when discussing healthy study habits and what they believe to be the gold standard for success. One author, Doug Speck, for example, would argue that reading as well as note-taking is an essential study habit. But are these alone enough? Or are combining both of these skills the most useful way to study? Bernice Walmsley alternatively argues that critical thinking is the most crucial component of a healthy study habit, leading to greater success. This, however, may also fall short of the gold standard. Having an action plan and deciding how to go about studying and collectively drawing on my own skills, I have found to be very useful, certainly as I've been studying now for a number of decades. However, an action plan is sometimes not enough. Adults learn by doing, and I have needed to change and adapt my study skills. Certainly writing a book and publishing it within a 6-month period was one of those times. I found myself in a foreign country in Sri Lanka. This was my view, and I had some spare time to study and research, and it could easily have been a distraction, but I used it more as an inspiration as I was writing my book during that 6 months. Needing to move outside of my comfort zone and fly out of the pigeonhole that I grew up with was necessary on that path and to learn new study habits along the way. Being aware of and also knowing my learning styles have been absolutely crucial, and knowing how I learn best. These days, I believe I'm more visual and auditory, but everybody is certainly different and has a different study style. My brain needs to function well to study well, therefore doing all I can to remain alert, focused, and healthy supports positive study habits in my life. I particularly prefer to work smarter and not necessarily harder. So one of my strengths that combines and contributes to healthy study habits is time management and also multitasking. Other authors, Sue Drew and Rosie Bingham, argue strongly for having both crucial skills and enhanced skills when studying at a higher education level. So managing my time, multitasking, and staying on top of the pressure by prioritizing is also absolutely essential. Staying focused is a skill. Drew and Bingham also argue that an enhanced skill is to clearly identify what you would like to achieve. So being clear of my end goal is crucial, and that takes willpower. So how do I reconcile what is the most important study habit for success? That is so difficult. There is a need to analyze and weigh up so much to make these decisions. I believe that there is a need for me to bring together all that I've learned. So those skills that I had as part of my nature and growing up in that family, and also what I've learned along the way and studied and have been taught along the way and nurtured my skills are both crucial. All the skills combined, they overlap. It's difficult to single out just one skill or one habit. And how do we do that? Higher education most certainly advocates for critical reading and analysis as being essential study habits. But are these enough? I believe for me, minimal distractions are crucial in the environment of healthy studying habits. It would be great to be able to sit in this environment here and have no distractions, but the reality is we need to sit by a computer. So we need to remove distractions to have healthy study habits. I would love to say that all the study habits in the world combined won't succeed if my interest doesn't first exist in the topic that I'm studying. So to conclude, my interest in the topic, together with a love of lifelong learning, are ultimately the most important study habits. A desire to implement them all is what works best for me. Thank you.